Welcome back, guys, to the fight breakdown. This week we got Tallison Teixeira versus Derrick Lewis. Let's get into the card. We got the breakdown. Let's go. For the first fight of the night, we got Fatima Kline versus Melissa Martinez. Now, Fatima Kline is a very good fighter. She has some loose striking that, helps her out on the feet. You got Melissa Martinez, who depends on that wild overhand. Then you got Fatima Kline's great takedowns to take all of her opponents down. And then when she gets to the ground, she gets immediately to work on her ground striking. She loves to slip in some chokes around the neck. And guys, this fight, listen, you look at the record, you see 8-1, 7-1. You're probably thinking it's close. It's really not. Melissa Martinez, her ground is non-existent. And guys, for a girl like Fatima Kline, who is just going to try to mold her opponent, Melissa Martinez is not going to last in this fight. I see this fight ending in the first or second round by submission for Fatima Kline, or even just by devastating ground and pound. The pick is Fatima Kline. The line says -900 for her. That's a bit wild, but the pick is Fatima Kline. For the second fight of the night, you got Mitch Ramirez versus Mike Davis. Now, you guys probably remember Mitch Ramirez for his whole thing with Conor McGregor, getting Dana to kick him off the Ultimate Fighter so he can have his best bud fight in the Ultimate Fighter. Yes. Now, Mitch Ramirez has had a pretty annoying run from the UFC as of after that. Obviously, they brought him back after he got a highlight KO, and to the Contender Series, he got finished by Carlos Prates. Then right after that, they made him fight Thiago Moises after he got another win at the LFA. And he got knocked out in that fight as well. And now he's fighting Mike Davis. Now, my opinions on this fight are pretty firm. Mike Davis, he's a complete martial artist. Now, we're not judging by his last fight how he lost to Ziem. Yes, but Mike Davis showed that he's a high-level fighter no matter what. You could have seen that this guy has some stuff to work on, but or else he's still a very good fighter. And I don't think Mitch Ramirez has anything special to kind of challenge Mike Davis in this fight. I think if the fight goes to the ground, Mike Davis will be as dangerous as we normally see him. And if it stays up on the feet, Mike Davis packs a punch. He might not be the best, most technical striker, but this man does pack a punch. And I think the threat of the takedown to the threat of that punch, there's going to be no stopping Mike Davis in this fight. Mike Davis will get a finish. I see more of a rear naked choke happening, or maybe an armbar. But a KO is possible too. But the point is, Mike Davis will win. He will dominate this fight, and I have no doubt about it. Next up, we got a big match versus Valter Walker and Kennedy Njokuani. Now, Njokuani, he has great striking. Don't get me wrong. He has some serious power, yes. In that fight versus Barnett posed a big threat. And that was a very bad Barnett, if we're being real there. Because then Barnett, obviously, he got injured in that fight and he proceeded to get TKO'd. But Valter Walker has a serious grappling threat that I'm worried for Njokuani. And there's not many grapplers that Njokuani has really faced in his career. And I think Valter Walker is that grappler to really just sub him. I mean, Njokuani has one sub loss, and it was versus a subpar grappler. And I see Valter Walker being a much higher level version of that other fighter. And guys, if you're not picking Valter Walker by submission, I don't know what you're doing. Valter Walker has been submitting people left and right as he's entered the UFC. And guys, Njokuani only has the striker's chance, but Valter Walker will take him down and he'll maul him. I could even see a leg lock just because Valter Walker is that good with his leg locks. So guys, the pick is Valter Walker. I think I provided enough context for that. If you guys need even more information, well, guys, there's not much more. It's pretty clear. Valter Walker is the pick. For the next fight, we got Lauren Murphy versus Eduarda Moura. Now, Eduarda Moura, she likes to bully her opponents in the grappling. She has serious dominance. Now, her striking may be sloppy at times, but when she takes her opponent down, she works. And she always goes for that submission. She always tries to rain down some heavy strikes. Well, Lauren Murphy has depended on her heart her whole career. We saw in her last fight, she got absolutely just demolished by Andrade for those 3 rounds. And the damage on her after that fight was just wow. Lauren Murphy has depended on her durability her whole career. And now that she's 41, I don't see it holding up versus a girl like Eduarda Moura. I mean, Lauren Murphy is not a very talented, not a very athletic fighter. She worked her way to a title shot, lost because she's just not a talented girl at the end of the day. Eduarda Moura has given us some stuff to be excited about, and I think Eduarda Moura will just clinch Lauren Murphy in this fight, and she'll win. She'll win dominantly. I see a submission happening, but I could also see a KO happening, guys. Lauren Murphy, she's getting old. There's a 10-year age gap between these two fighters. Eduarda Moura is all the hype, at least in this fight. And yeah, it's the clear pick. The pick is Eduarda Moura. Next up, we got Jake Matthews versus Chidi Njokuani. I hope I said that right. But guys, Chidi, he has a lot of power. He's very fast with his strikes. He's very long. He has an 80-inch reach. He's 6'3", where you has Jake Matthews that is 5'11", 73-inch reach. But guys, let's get to the point. Chidi Njokuani, he's gotten rocked in his last fights, and that's worrisome. He's 36 years old. He's aging. Well, Jake Matthews is known for his great durability in his fights and great boxing in the pocket. Guys, I think Jake Matthews dominates this fight. I think he has the skills that could just shut down Chidi Njokuani, and I don't think it's going to be close here. Guys, the line is very close. It has Jake Matthews actually at plus money, and I think it's worth it because of just how Chidi has just looked as of late. Getting rocked in your last fights. And then Jake Matthews. Guys, the pick is clear. It's Jake Matthews. I think he's just going to get in the pocket. He's going to use his boxing. He's going to get in and out. And I think it's just going to be a boxing masterclass for 3 rounds. The pick is in. It's Jake Matthews. Next up, we got Max Griffin versus Chris Curtis. Now, Max Griffin has just not looked good lately. So has Chris Curtis. Don't get me wrong. But Chris Curtis has more or less had close fights or gotten unlucky or has faced just quality opponents. Now, don't get me wrong, Max Griffin has faced those quality opponents, but he's been finished twice or 3 times in his last 3 fights. It's just not looking good for the guy. And facing a guy like Chris Curtis, now they are both around the end of their career. When you look at them, they are old. They're 37, 36. The point is, they are pretty much done. But Chris Curtis is the much cleaner striker in this fight. He is much better at counter-striking. And guys, when you look at Chris Curtis' last fight versus Roman Kopylov, before that finish, it was really a last-second finish. And some people said it still should have went to decision. But Chris Curtis was having a close fight with him in those first 2 rounds. It was only that 3rd round where really Kopylov took advantage. But Kopylov is a much better fighter than Max Griffin. Max Griffin, don't get me wrong, he's done some decent stuff over his career, but I don't think it's anything into comparison to Chris Curtis. I mean, Chris Curtis has a win over Hakeem Buckley. Look what Hakeem Buckley is doing. And then he's fighting a guy like Max Griffin who has just not looked good as of late. Really hasn't. No real close fights for him in the last 3. And I think Chris Curtis is going to take full advantage of every little bit that Max Griffin gives him in this fight. Chris Curtis also has amazing takedown defense. So even if Max Griffin decides to go the other way and try to level change, it won't really end up good for him. And I think Chris Curtis, he trains at a good gym. He's surrounded by a lot of technical guys. I think Chris Curtis is going to win this fight. And I think he's going to win it very dominantly. The pick is in. It's Chris Curtis. If you guys are struggling to win bets or even just learn the UFC better, guys, Fight Signal is the way to go. They have an 85% accuracy rate on predicting fights across all events in the UFC. Guys, they're the best fight predictor website that you could possibly even get. And guys, I got a promo code for you. Use FightCM at checkout for 50% off. Guys, this is what I use to analyze all my fights. It's the reason why I'm so accurate in my fight breakdowns. Guys, I have like 85% rate as well. Just because of this, guys. Before, I would be able to predict maybe 60, maybe 70. But guys, Fight Signal has helped me so much. And yeah, guys, they're constantly adding new stuff. So guys, it becomes worth it. It still is worth it. But guys, something that you could fully interact with, guys. Literally, I could request improvements if I want, guys. You type anything you want, they will probably get it for you. They will. Guys, they answer all your feedback. It's the future, really, of predicting fights. Guys, make sure to use Fight Signal. Use my code FightCM, and you're going to get 50% off, guys. It's a deal and a half. Next up, we got Junior Tafa versus Tuco Tokkos. Now, Junior Tafa, he's back at 205 pounds. This is the place to be for him. At 265, he was just too small for those fighters, and he was getting mauled. He was getting finished left and right. But now he's back. He just won by KO in his last fight, and I think he's going to win by KO in this fight. Tuco Tokkos, don't get me wrong. The guy has some very good power, but the guy was originally a middleweight, moved up to light heavyweight. He has the bigger frame, well, bigger size, length, but if you look at the frame of Junior Tafa, it's much bigger. But Tuco Tokkos, I just don't think can win this fight. He's been pretty unlucky in his last two, obviously losing both of them. But Tokkos, I just think it's Junior Tafa's place here. I think it is. I think, at this weight class, he at least belongs there. His frame belongs there. He looks big. He looks strong. And his last fight, he showed some incredible durability in that fight. Obviously getting put down in that first round, but then coming to the second round and finishing his opponent. I do think Tuco Tokkos will put up a bit of a fight, but I think at the end of the day, Junior Tafa will walk out with the knockout. Next up, we got a big matchup between Vitor Petrino and Austen Lane. Now, Austen Lane, former football player, just got knocked out in his last fight, has been knocked out before that, and I have no confidence in this man's skill. He's in the UFC. He's in the UFC for just name reasons. When you look at his overall skill, Joe Rogan was saying he's improving, whatever, in his commentary in his last fight. But guys, no, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. Well, I don't know. It wasn't Joe Rogan, but it was John Anik. Whatever. But guys, Austen Lane, you want to think he has that skill, but he doesn't. Vitor Petrino's a killer. He's a fighter. He lost his last two fights, but guys, it was to Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith has a spectacular submission game. Then he lost, obviously, in his other fight to Jacoby by KO. And even at that, Jacoby, he has some serious power as well, and Jacoby's doubted in all his fights. I doubted Jacoby in his last fight. Guys, Vitor Petrino, he's still a talent, and he still has the set of skills to beat a guy like Austen Lane. Austen Lane recently got KO'd by Mario Pinto, an upcoming prospect, and I think Vitor Petrino has the skill set to do the same and knocking out Austen Lane or even submitting Austen Lane. Guys, the pick's Vitor Petrino, and it's for clear reasons. Austen Lane, I like that he takes fights. He tries his best. He always tries to knock the guy out. But seriously, the man doesn't belong in the UFC. He's just here because he's a roster spot. That's all I have to say. The pick is Vitor Petrino. Next fight, we got Nate Landwehr versus Morgan Charrière. Now, Morgan Charrière, people had him to beat his last opponent in Wood. But obviously he didn't. He lost. He got knocked down. There was a significant speed difference in my opinion. And Nate Landwehr, in his last fight, he lost to a fighter that really used a speed difference in Choi Du, who I hope I got his name right. But wow, what a performance from his last opponent. Nate Landwehr, he showed that he's durable. Sure, he got KO'd by him in the end. But guys, Morgan Charrière, he is still a talent. He's still a talent. People, the guy puts maximum effort in his fight. He always tries to go to war, which is very interesting. He has a very good takedown, and when he gets to the ground, he has a lot of moves down there, and I think he's going to take Nate Landwehr into deep waters. Nate Landwehr maybe has a decent ground game, but Morgan Charrière, he's younger, he's faster, and he's just better. Landwehr, I think it's going to be a very tough fight for him. The striking's clearly not there, and when the striking's not there for an opponent, and you just have that a bit of grappling threat, but the other fighter also has a grappling threat, guys, there's a clear gap in this fight. Morgan Charrière will win this fight, and he will win it fairly dominantly. Nate Landwehr, I wish he just didn't take this fight because it's a dangerous one for him. The pick is Morgan Charrière, and it's with high confidence. Now here's a fight that I'm super excited for. We are at the third last fight of the card. We got Calvin Kattar versus Steve Garcia. Now Calvin Kattar has just not looked good as of late. He's faced some top quality competition in Josh Emmett. Obviously, you had Max Holloway in his sixth to last fight, whatever, that was dominance. But other than that, you got Arnold Allen, you got Aljamain Sterling, and his recent loss to Zalal. But guys, I just don't think Calvin Kattar's here in this fight. Steve Garcia has 5 KOs in his last 5 fights. This man is on a tear. And he's beat some quality opponents as well. Maybe not to the quality that Calvin Kattar has faced. But Steve Garcia poses a threat that is just going to be very hard for Calvin Kattar to take. Calvin Kattar's 37. He's showing his age in his last few fights. Though this man has durability, I don't see it ending very well versus Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia's got that power in his hands. And guys, he is always willing to scrap. And I think when you're willing to scrap at this age, I think it's just going to be good for him. He's durable as well. He's gotten KO'd in the past. But guys, Steve Garcia versus Calvin Kattar is not close here. Calvin Kattar has shown that he's getting chinny. At least he's gotten knocked down in his fights. And I just don't see it going very well for him. I think Steve Garcia is gonna be the fighter to finally just put Calvin Kattar out. And I think this will be Calvin Kattar's last fight of his career, because this will make a 5-fight losing streak for him. The pick is Steve Garcia, and it's by KO. Next up, we got Stephen Thompson versus Gabriel Bonfim for the co-main event of the evening. Stephen Thompson poses a great striking threat, obviously with his karate background and his kickboxing record of 49-0, I think. I don't know, maybe, whatever. But the point is, that guy's insane at striking, and Gabriel Bonfim will have to deal with that. Gabriel Bonfim obviously poses the grappling threat, and he poses a very good one. His boxing is decently clean, but it is very counterable, and he has gotten finished in his one loss by KO. Now, Stephen Thompson, what he has to worry about, he just has to worry about the grappling, because if it's a striking match, guys, Gabriel Bonfim does not have a chance of putting out Stephen Thompson. I don't think Stephen Thompson is really going to be engaging into any grappling aspect with Gabriel Bonfim. It will be more Gabriel Bonfim initiating anything, but Gabriel Bonfim loves to really just jump for a guillotine, and he won't be able to get that here because Stephen Thompson won't be engaging in the grappling threat. So what I'm saying is this: Stephen Thompson, he keeps his distance, he'll be good in this fight, just like every other striker versus grappler, yes. But if Gabriel Bonfim engages in the clinch in the first round, and you see he's able to get a good hold of him, and Stephen Thompson is not able to move at all, it's Gabriel Bonfim all the way. You could just tell by the first round what's going to happen. But Stephen Thompson, never count the man out. He is 41, 42 years old, but he's still very good. He was winning that fight versus Buckley before he got KO'd. So he is still dangerous. And I think he is a much better striker than the man who beat Gabriel Bonfim by knocking him out. Of course, Gabriel Bonfim in his last fight, he jumped the gilly, he won. So I do think he does have a chance of submitting Stephen Thompson. No, you're wrong. He has great chokes. But it's just a matter of how does this happen. In my opinion, I'm going to take Stephen Thompson. I'm going to take him by KO in this fight. I think Stephen Thompson, he may be on a bit of a losing skid, but I think this will be his last fight of his career, and it will end in a finish for Stephen Thompson. Stephen Thompson will KO Gabriel Bonfim. It's either that or Gabriel Bonfim's just going to, submit him right away. But guys, my pick, Stephen Thompson by KO. Let's go. For the main event of the evening, we got Derrick Lewis versus Tallison Teixeira. Tallison Teixeira is an upcoming prospect. He's 8-0. He's 6'7", 263 pounds with an 83-inch reach. That's a 4-inch reach advantage over Derrick Lewis. That's a 4-inch height advantage over Derrick Lewis. Derrick Lewis coming off a year layoff. And guys, I had Tallison Teixeira from the start. But if you need someone to back it up, it's the one website on earth that helps you with fights, helps you analyze fights, helps you predict fights. It's Fight Signal, baby. And guys, it helped me so much for this fight with Tallison Teixeira. Guys, Tallison Teixeira in his debut landed an average of 8 strikes per minute. And guys, he's continued over his last fight as well. And he's gotten those KOs. He's never went past the first round. Guys, this man, is just gonna obliterate Derrick Lewis. I hate to say it because Derrick Lewis is such a fan icon, but this man is just not who he once was, or basically was never what we once thought. This man just has incredible knockout power, but if you look at how good he is, he's not very good. He's not. And versus a guy like Tallison Teixeira, who is young and hungry, guys, I think it's going to be easy work for Tallison, and I think it's going to end in the first round. Because in my head, guys, if you can get finished by Tai Tuivasa, yeah, you're going to get finished by a guy like Tallison Teixeira. The pick is Tallison Teixeira. It's a sad pick, but guys, I'm also excited. At least the heavyweights have another talent coming up, because this division has been not evolving for so long that, guys, seriously, we need this guy in the division, because Tom Aspinall is looking unstoppable. Now, I'm not saying Tallison Teixeira ends up beating Tom Aspinall, but at least, you know, he poses that first round knockout threat that we always like to see in a heavyweight. Thank you guys for watching the breakdown, and guys, good luck with your bets, good luck with your predictions. I hope you're the most accurate out of your friends for watching this video. Guys, who do you think's gonna win? I want you to comment down below. Are you gonna take Tallison Teixeira, the up and comer, or are you gonna go with my balls is hot Derrick Lewis? Let me know. I'll see you guys in the next one. And if you're not subscribed, what are you doing?